Hello dear students, it's time for your revision for Periodic Assessment Test 3. The chapters are Unit 5 Invention and Unit 6 Shadow and Light. So let's start with the paper style and then all the question answers which can be asked in this test. So this test is of 20 marks. It's more like your class test, but two chapters are together, so you don't have to worry much. The first question will be give meanings for 5 marks, second fill in the blanks for 5 marks, and the last answer the following questions for 10 marks. As you always know, I can ask the blanks or even questions from the textbook, like which we have not already done in the exercises, but as we have studied the story thoroughly, you will be able to easily answer them. But let's just revise all the things which we have studied earlier. Question 1. Give meanings for 5 marks. Here you will be asked 5 words and you will have to give the meanings. First word, invention. It is something that has never been made before. Second, often. It means frequently or many times. Third word is British. It means belonging or relating to the United Kingdom or to its people or culture. Next, we have an idiom, to fool someone. It means to trick someone into believing something that is not true. Next, burglar. It means housebreaker or thief. Last word, steal. It means take without permission or legal right and without intending to return it. Next words are India rubber. It is natural rubber. Dew. Drops of water that form on the ground and other surfaces outside during the night. Buttercup. It is a small bright yellow wildflower. Errant. It means complete. Sleepyhead. A person, especially a child who is tired and looks as if they want to sleep. Shadowgraphy. It is the art or practice of producing shadow pictures on a screen. Puppet. A doll that is moved by putting your hand inside it or by pulling strings or wires that are attached to it. Evidence. Proof. Broca's area. Region of the brain that contains neurons involved in speech function. Adapt. It means to change something so that you can use it in a different situation. And the last word is worn out. It means extremely tired or exhausted. These are the list of words which can be asked for meanings. Next, we have fill in the blanks for 5 marks. Now, even in blanks, I can ask directly from the passage, like who invented the better way for light bulbs? Like, you know, the answer is Thomas Alva Edison. So that way, just go through the chapter once again and this revision video. Blanks. First one, inventors blank problems. They solve problems. Or I can also ask like blank solve problems. You will have to write inventors solve problems. Lawrence's invention uses existing blank technology and has a blank. So the answer will be Lawrence's invention uses existing mobile phone technology and has a built-in SIM card. The blank makes the smart bell sound like the owner is inside the house talking on an intercom. Or I can shift the blanks as well. The white noise makes the smart bell sound like the owner is inside the house talking on an intercom. A family friend helped him to send his design to blank. A family friend helped Lawrence to send his design to China. Then we have the passage about shadowgraphy. The art of shadowgraphy has been around a long time. European travelers learned it when visiting blank. They learned it when visiting China. But at that time, people used blank puppets. Later, some people started doing shows with blank. They were doing with puppets, then they started doing shows with hand shadows. And Felician Trivet liked to make his hands look like the shadows of blank famous people. There is a scientific evidence that doing hand shadows activates a part of the brain called Broca's area. This part of the brain helps with language. I can also ask you the blanks like the moth fell in love with blank, a star. So that was all about meanings and blanks. And now the last question, answer the following questions for 10 marks. Here, each answer will carry 2 marks. So make sure that you do not do the grammatical or any spelling mistakes. I have kept 2 marks just so that I can cut your marks for not writing properly. First question. What was the problem with the earlier inventions for light bulbs? The earlier light bulbs did not last long enough and they were not easy to make in large numbers. Second, what is the invention by Lawrence Rook? Lawrence Rook invented smart bell, a doorbell that fools burglars into thinking somebody is at home in an empty house. What does smart bell do that's different than regular doorbell? When smart bell is pressed, it waits 10 seconds to see if the homeowner answers. If no one answers, the smart bell dials the owner's mobile phone. Next question. When did Lawrence come up with the idea for smart bell? Lawrence came up with the idea of smart bell when his school asked students to enter a contest for student inventions. Read the lines from the poem and answer the following. He is very, very like me from the heels up to the head. Here, I can also give you other lines from the poem and make you answer different questions, but let's take this example. Who does he refer to? He refers to shadow. Who does me refer to? Me refers to the speaker in the poem. Why are he and me alike? He and me are alike because he is the shadow of me. Now, the question answers from the last part. A moth with a dream. With whom did the young moth fell in love? The young moth fell in love with a beautiful star. What did the moth's mother say when he told about his dream? When the moth told his mother about his dream, she told him he should dream of something closer and easier like a nice lamp. Why did the moth leave his father's house? The moth didn't want to fly around street lamps or house lamps as his father told, so he left his father's house. Where did the moth think the star was? The moth thought the star was caught in the top branches of a tall tree. And the last question, why was the moth happy in the end? The moth was happy because he lived to be a very old moth and he believed in his dream. When his mind began to play tricks, he started believing that he really had reached the star. So that's all for your syllabus for the third unit test. You just have to revise this. I know it's very easy for you because you have already studied this and have applied for the test, and I can also say that you guys performed really well in your second unit tests. So, this won't be a tough task for you. You will be able to pass this exam with flying colors. But still, just prepare well and make sure that you do not make any mistakes with overconfidence. So, that's it. Just continue your reading and enjoy your day. All the best.